Bread wachina kunyao ishiraka neat etiefo nyina ozioma adakabri oribo bebie the kan wa ben no yesi okwan tware asuo ena asuo tware okwan panyin ni hwan a yebo okwan betu asuo ozioma adakabri frimpong manso wachina kunya bebie
yamama ho na yamama tenase yefri neat 100.9 FM so and say yeba manasui na ene ye wukuada fosu obusume ene say ye wuramui ne da etoso ensia afi empino aduonu emienu na mame say abodonko apa ho meeti aduonu enson just about gone 27 minutes past 1 today Wednesday April 6th 2022 Mementi dwumadie yede bai se yedie ene anyina ye hwehwe se omanma eho ebe hare ye ne na yetimi adi eye yakonia sa nyina so no ye hwehwe se obia uba adwom yento ade ene se nsuo esusasa begugu wadwene ye wo se ubesore se wukofie no na wunya bibia otwedi ampon enti so ahono ubenya bi na ode akofie wate yakoma to yam na yenken kuransensem emfa enkyere ye ho a na ma yenka ensem a esede yede esese ye ho yede etu akoma na wo mo a etete wose ye se levi aba na nu nti levi no to no mu a yentia obi ankonko yi ni sika koko yi nko awo de enye adepa enne ba bia ye duroi se yen woni hwan so wo sika ko yudie nya wo na be campaign bia say yenkonko yie sika wo option no say wo di sika be ko dwaben ame de akoye na sa agiman ayi a na yatena se no na fa sika no bra ne mfanya ntotoye na wo say wo be risky na wa fa aye Accra Kumasi highway so na di sika na kwa kure what the correct name opportunity
20,050 cities
20,050 cities
nana ya calculate mine
nana ya na me calculate nana we ya so this ka come
na ya fan say 20,050 cities a weekend I say me de kwana ye de kototo enoma bi eno na ze say no the person me who say Saturday and me pon asem di kana me de to me ka anim akọ ana say
asem ya be kan nyina so so shade we so fa to nchen say yes Pennywise poundful
okay eno ni asechire ne say
babna ya ka Pennywise poundful asere say
Pennywise no what that store okay go
eno ano no kwabna nim no na me ga say kwabna de obenim no kwabna nim no
still ano minu ba bia mesere
no what that store okay
no
what PNT
mo fanto nchen sasema ye be kan nyina no say Pennywise poundful afi chirichi maminti
it's
20,000 50 cities no me da open program aso
a me pon asem di kan
na je say wabo hwi na nka wo discan no ko alternative be biem na wo
ana so alternative no me waya
ube waya no kwan ben
so say me waya no wo yemomu ya so so ho na je say me dia
na waya ubetu yasen
say 11 ni ho a nanka we na say yenka say activate ba say ye nchreche debi
it say u 11 pencil no ubetu yasen
11 pencil yi
mama say amend no enye Pennywise poundful Pennywise pound foolish it mo share
what the foolish na say be
ah tete me
fool ni kra ba ye no fool ni ba ye no kra ye count
mo fanto nchen the Pennywise pound foolish and nan chen afi wo sinti alternative ni say 20,000 ekodwabe no ada say me da opone a na mama nipa be gina ha twen
na o say na wo me nipa be gina na o de me no mo
yeguso ye je Mr. Shadow to Pennywise pound foolish
o ma ba be twen wa say o be de
enti wo de be ko
say ko by me da Maybe that day, I say it to me.
Alternative in the same.
It's alternative is over wire.
So, what the young man said, we had the momo.
We had the momo.
Charges a senate.
Okay, charges no. En caneno. As ye levy free more. En caneno na wama cap on the 10 cities. It's like a 20,000 no. Met to ya 10 cities.
Any part do a saying, and a bit me any electronic cash of 20,000.
20,000.
I do 20,000. No, at the actual kiosk, you must say, kiosk no so what you want to know. Yeah, Okada be microphobia and a pomo. It was no G and what is at 20,000 or there are 2 kiosks. No, the electronic cash or the amount wrong. It's not why you call. And no, a 10 cities in Passonia.
And no, Becatro said there be a Jew which is canim.
So,
Becatro the Jew chase canim. Iti ojuji chemu sen o se na mesra wo ojuji chemu 1,000.
Iti just akwa empredu aduo. Iti na just akwa 10 cities aduo no.
Aduo no.
Na just akwa say 200 cities no no. Kwaso mi kusu ti.
Iti eno no na enei se ye chance se ye implement e-levy na. Iti 20,050 cities no. Obebo ka say 1.50%. It's 1.50% in the NHS. We are talking about 205 Ghana cedis.
1% net 205 and I say 1.5.
1.5.
Most answers in be me musa question want me nyanu.
No be better than the ubebisa question.
But then
Ubeka division
say
1.5% of 20,000 of 20,000
of 20,000.
So won't me so that my meme
1.5 no 205. Okay.
1.5%.
1.5%.
Man pen na me ya
calculate. Na ya asafo mo man pen fa mame. Na muncha no so say you dey kan dey to nchan penny wise pound foolish.
But why you foolish? I don't want to come for
foolish.
20,000.
20,000 and over 1.5 1.5
300 cities
100 over every percentage is 100 so 0 cancel 0
about 299.25
okay yeah 299.25
once a month student always a math student. The way mathematics and arithmetic.
But now we are there.
Mummy and Yinchimu. When na mathematics and arithmetic.
My math teacher cram me fini dion.
Anyway, math.
What may year board mass in the casano? Omo de na add mass and board mass quite the same there.
Madam Mummy and Tia who was you. So, me
calculation. The conta. Say
arithmetic. Say you bet me arrival at a percentage of a huge
20,000
of a whole figure no of 20,000 no. So a kwanya ye be fa so e dey arrival at that conclusion no. Mathematical and as arithmetic.
Arithmetic. Mathematical na dey accountable. Arithmetic na so accountable no. It ye na pie. It's
mathematical, I say. Don't forget to say so. Mathematical or dead body.
Mathematical calculation, material. Me
quadro to charge you more for once and my.
Me quadro of their commands to be fairly you. Man,
it's what you were watching.
What I say, mention. Into what I say, no. Well, said that, that is a 300 cities.
About me, yeah,
Unya saying.
Wabakajo ze
mema mensere amimu ya me yete mensere eti we say na chese we no algebra na say
kwa the end of long division
metro 20,000
long division
every percentage is 100 into 20,000 times 100 divided by 1.5 into medicine.
Okay, into muntio say now we are being told and reliably we are supposed to depend on it. Say arithmetic to the extent to say existing regime ya de be levy you must take out the first 100 cedis from the total sum of 20 cedis, 20,000, 50 cedis. So it will be
20,000.
20. 050.
Yeah, 050. 20,000, 50.
So, who exempts 100? We are then left with 19,950. And no, na yeah, simple arithmetic.
Okay.
It's calculation be simple arithmetic. So, some go fast film school no.
Yo.
Ati Miss Mon go fast film school. Mama go disco. Mama go gasco. Mama go agri. Mama go chese. Okay. Babna afena oto nsa afre hwan.
Wafa obi ma me calculation.
Say babna calculation dey long division.
Na my dad unya say.
Say no. 19,050 no. Ebema 285.75.
Dad calculation be na we.
Eno no ye
adia media mamu awie say ye 100 ni free mu nka
20,050. Be ye 100 na free mu.
We
free 20,000.
Ye 100 na free 20,050 ni mu. It ebeka 19,000.
20,000 minus 100 there. Send yanka me.
Mo sori na antimony ton waache Auntie Mary katawo de so na mo so da mo keke bi kire wo mo won say we kakra we mo da ho te
over 285
wafa yena mas ne yanya de
285.75
it who exempt 100 cedis no every night we are then left with 19,950
19,950 yeah
Monko so simple arithmetic na mo ye no na mo ye nwie so obia so nidi ne
okay 299 what is zeros in the cancel 299.25
safere maji ato
299
it free na ekro no mon share no so say
na we no telco no charge ne mmeka ho telco no charge na wo fe no na me bisa say
ubisa say there I mean can say when you are referring to addition subtraction multiplication and division the proper word is arithmetic.
Okay.
Maintains our mass fun. Mass, meanwhile, is reserved for problems involving signs, symbols, and proofs.
Okay.
Algebra, calculus, geometry, trigonometry. In which case, we have got to side with
the mathematicians.
It's arithmetic ni
and arithmetic.
It's ya mo pian ka mass da.
Arithmetic yani.
Mfankure.
Anya bre ya wo wu ya pa.
Pede watch.
It will offer say anya 299.25.
Yes.
Na me question is say telco so no say question kura me bisa kodwo opon kroma pen. Be bisa eye wa wo fase jonko mapen. Say telco so no wo mo kapo de mayen. Anakasa 20,050. Telcos no better 10 Ghana cedis. But say no, most say telcos no matter so. What matter so by 0.25. Again 0.75. It is the question comes in say, Captain no be ye juma with telcos and funny the anymore. And as I say, Captain in ye juma, no yanti, because since he can't make
you're working. One was I want to ask you. Telcos no shas here no. Send now almost in percentage. Na first 1,000 cedis na 10 cedis. And subsequently no na percentages here you man.
Na subsequently na.
Over so person wo in and out one dey obey ni 20.
Yenyenru.
Yenru in and out.
Almost shas here no. Na nye amount be na 10 cedis. Almost shas na first amount. Be 1,000 cedis and then 10 cedis and subsequently na ye GB at the ka ho and the bedroom pompon so afedi omu jai sa de no na afedi de wo the 2,000 wo the 5,000 wo to 10 cedis right
sa pepepe
and say sia no wo say aban ne be ka kire ye say as part of wo mo nhihye no telco so no 1% technically come 1% no ka wo the 20,000 and 1% of it, but where the omoji 1 cedi, omoji 10 cedi, which is not 10, which is not 1% of the total principal. It is here. So we shall say 75% beach
0.75%
beach. Let us pay yes, but some be quantity. Sankofa no. Ama a very yababe say you be graduate. Sika ube no. Na enkwankwa yes say a flat rate 10 cedis na. No bia nyamuaya.
Obi amfam waye ma.
About to say 0.75% no. Say would they calculate 1,000? That's 1,000 over 0.1.5 we free so. So what 1.5 every 3,000 no so. That's what I got 0.75 no. As I the free so. That's me fan say one say what team me no pay better.
Yanyi wo, anta wo ka obi ayedin, wo se went me ensi so. Yanya nnu ho. Wodi yanya nnu ho de mum yanum nsuo. Antwen ope. Na de akoba ne se. Enoma bebre no. Omai ma ye ade na mayen no. Ye maye nya ye ho ntiase. That's the problem. Omai ma na ye ade amayen no. Ye maye nya ye ho ntiase because I was say wabusa sa asem wa mmia akwanya bebre wonyae obusa emu aye bia nya den emai.
Ofa na bi nso wo a wo ho eye kasa ye di nka ti free ebinom ano ena maye aweresiremu a ade no ba efe boye pusa ofa wo nkai se sa asem ye bisa on say wonye nipa akuma bi woye vice president ye bisa no wa bra woye interview ye bisa nipa no bisa no consistency
sesen
wo bisa ne say sa momo wa se wate say omo de atuo betu momo so ama a vice president enumu atutuo say there be one thing this say saade no be ye adwuma tre say ayemobrowa ene ahiafo a
wote no wasom
yes wo famity no masom
de okan ye say de okan ye say o de figure bi to so say entwam we efri say ayemobrowa ene yusu eno na wo say o first 100 cedis no ene ya be country it is ade no so one put
no of make vice president kasa wo peace of
and I'm saying the kasa no kan ye no the wutie ne yi a wan kasa yemfa tax ento so if we say ye mobrowa
of course I don't think we will tax mobile money
net is a wunye too sure
yes I know kasa
there be oka amount to be enti yenya unye nya voice no so dia on yenyina yetie bi or the amount eto so say certain level bi entwem wo saade odi atudwa no nti ho wo di bibia mo friend threshold e bai so say threshold we no entwem because of an say woman use no akwa ye say ya na omunsam enibi eti wan dismiss say yemfa eto ento so
okay
na mo no die no die wonya ya enka yema threshold bi encover womu a yenhye dan ni sika no
anti wono de percentage bi buy
abani kwa in the God president also co use the word industry it sinks in with vice president na dwene ananka owo vice president ni susu say enke ye be ma threshold bodua ye pa bi ato aduane agi no enka affect yen nanka womu operate within a subsector friend industry no services subsector hono nanka womu no atua for such services so no na no na yentimi ye kan say ye ma ye ho kwan ma ye nya enchiremu ebite kwa na ye ken wo fashion nso. Can you imagine, say, Ghanaian setting up a steel factory?
Okay.
Or setting up a steel factory near bre or to the norma or just where you serious investors or by Ghanaian no. And na India ni I catch them and say, now dear wo ye no, obenya certain incentives under 1D 1F Ghanaian no and no was setting up a steel factory and the Indian ni a catcher and say in fact Ghanaian no SIA MP
okay
Ghanaian MPO setting up Mimi Hang
our father war
and Mimi your war setting up a steel factory no and the Indian ni when you're Ghanaian when you're MPO a catcher and say Adebi Obenya incentives, obenya benefits, obenya so man call under 1D 1F. Afedi de MP ani ho hancho. And no call 1D 1F secretariat or call desk. Afedi wo hunu benefit obenya no. But ni ti bottom. Me ya Ghanaian, me ya MP. And I didn't know say metimi anya sa benefit we and na obi free India. Abaha e catch them so metimi anya sa benefit we. E dey na catch them. Nature say adepa bi wo oman ni mu a yemma yenhunu
yembie so
ana yenkyeremu nkyere yen you even would not avail yourself for the opportunity a ebi a oman ne kura ayama wo
wa communication no nkofom
communication na a problem ni
communication is
availability of information. Because investor when you say we bet me anya sa benefit we
and we find am make
na India ni ensanya MP aka kire say we benya sa benefit we could it also be say Ghana ni investor no pe consultant am ni lead no because the consultants they work in modules it every step will be a bit take biano unimu what pertains in that sector so and akwaya say anopo sorry no ye de o no apeso ye so enti yama information flow no
wafa one of the factors
I wouldn't say 1D 1F no ye 1D 1F wa aye empo wasa e wasa memu Ghana ho wo ye rubber and one juma export to the Europe and North America. Emma ye vehicle components, dashboard, any brake parts near the export to
the brain.
Na Ghanaian business na Ghanaian investors in nim say say next year to vehicle assembling plants were Ghana dia at the yen chassis and compare investment be emma sa company no western region no ye rubber no ye dey call a friend say or export to the corner near the vehicle components no na ye mum so ye components bi wa ha unza na no make catch kwabena say automobile components and parts original parts manufacturers na some information we ya catch Ghana for enti Ghana for ntimi nya sika ntimi enye den and set up a company enya sadie
enya sa rubber no anana omode ye bonsa ties no
memo bebusa me enti information no kwabena ya ye ho den
na make
what the own so the other time we can say there was species of cassava bia eno no yedua ebetimi aboana industries a womode ya na nanom banche e de ye sa ene de keka ho no na ke ye de ama ho eti wo kan
sa cassava na wo kan no wunim ho asem da ho wunim ka banche a ebe short to Ghana ha if we say eye ayensu no ye original no isi wo no ye sign aye 1D 1F mienu e wo bono ne bono east east eti omo miensa esa ba yenya factory ni o raw material na ya asem when na ebe ka cho se kokodua sa banchi ni bi ntem if you say wo mo be yam yakokra sa banchi ni dia bre wo mo e dia be ye industrial starch
good
enti adena sa information no emma bontin say
wo ka yampo e ka say agric ministry
yes
wo mo e wo sa species ni bi wo ha o kwa wo betimi anya bi enye
edua sa factory we the better
yeah the other time I can immediately na me frɛ ho me agree ministry but information am saka no it wasn't enough and just am radio soka
so that's enough emu yo aye company sa company for no be pesa banchi no entomo be pesa banchi no ya mpe banchi na ama wo mo wa ha ya betena ha ama wo mo akokra sa banchi no dia ba e dia ba be ye raw material ama mo ye products ni wia na ya export
and wafa esono bantin ya ye die ɛna sono saa industrial bantena a woka no
ɛsono ɛnsunsuye wom ɛnsunsuye wom
na
ɛtinya bantena yɛdie ɛna yɛtumi process de yɛ ethanol ɛde yɛ industrial starch no ne ade eti ya set up entities ɛwɔ ha ya set up entities wɔ ha enti mommiyamia ni nkɔ no ma bi wona information flow no emra on say na me ka cho say government communicators no mo wan
ɛnyɛ na me
because nsɛm ni bi wɔ hɔ a wɔn timi kan ɛbɛma nipa bi ɛbu atɔ wɔn yam kakra ko say oh at least opportunities bi ɛwɔ ɔman wei mu
ɔfa saa levy kura sei enka wɔn de bɛba first no na nka wɔn yɛ ho nkyerɛkyerɛ ɛne workshop ni ade de kyerɛkyerɛ nkɔfoɔ sɛ sei ne yɛ ba bɛyɛ un sɛ enka ne implementation no bɛba no na akoma atɔ yam kyɛn sɛ putupuru so wakɔ akɔfa abɛyi wɔn sɛ enipa nte aseɛ wɔ saa levy no ho a kyɛ sɛ
abɛma awɛmfio ɛyɛ penny wise pound deɛ bɛyi
pound so foolish
foolish dabi ɛnyɛ foolish saa foolish kora de ɛnyɛ de foolish
oh okay
see ka fool so it ade na ka fool na be ka say foolish dey was foolish dabi foolish ne tete de no it penny wise pound foolish to the extent to say yet your man we mu kwabene yet your man we mu na ye ho ano ya nhyaase say akonya we wa ha akonya we wa ha
akonya we ha
nyesi mfama Ghana ni wahwehwe Ghana ni wahwehwe na nka obetimi anya whole MP no set up a steel factory na wonim benefits obenya and the government flagship one day every say every BB polarization yeah so be quite say yase what's up yen
050 600 0909
repeat
050 600 0909
polarization kwabna yemu ache say tu obi free say for political reasons inti ompe levy enu nti won say samusumu free say motimi akọ de na se mo no so be ka kire mo ane say e de yenye de be ne a yenyina yenko yiye sika oba ba ko ye doctor kro ndo say obetua levy no obetua ne part na mo wo ton ade de ama na ye 10 cedis a wo ka chese wono mfa bi nto so na watimi anya exact 10 cedis na onfa bi nto so na say na ma me doctor enye no anso so be ka chese me to ade 10 1 10 cedis amre me so me fa ade ne ma wo tino ba bia ma me ne Dr. Kobi Mensah or senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School na ono na why comments kakra on Twitter efa Ghana mampanyini ni encounter with a BBC journalist na yenhwe. He says Ghana mampanyini had more control over global issues and sought to avoid or evade local bread and butter issues. Yani Dr. Kobi Mensah and Kara. Doc, ya haba ni TFM so.
Me that's ADAKABRI.
Doc, na we are home port saying. Good. Right. If you could tell us more about what you wrote on Twitter after the conduct of the Ghanaian president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and a recent interview with the BBC journalist.
Okay. Well, first of all, in that interview, I was doing my analysis, based on 2016, and I said before 2016 election interview, and I see on some of the basic frame to me analyze it, communication, and I say events dictator. Now, me sure, and let me say the president performance in 2016 was much more rigorous and much more compelling than current debate, current interview. And if I would share or approaching questions now, it was as if he was only communicating to your friends and interviewer, a journalist. Want to be anchored audience along because the way interview about on mine, I just say you are indirectly or directly speaking to Ghanaian voters, for example. And I felt say Bianca, to me, what shows some level of compassion, saying, amount for a move Philip change as a result of global impact of war on any fuel now across. But some message into me and carry through the interview. We share another point as well. We share Tanya now to me related to global issues now. About 11 Nyoma Ama Emmanuel I mean, all answer about why 11. I think that he had the opportunity to highlight some of the programs or other programs or the towards to expand our revenue sources and to shore up our revenue rather than making some dismissive comments about Oman criticizing 11 yet the only sources are able to me are plugging in your revenue host. To me, one articulate some of the programs. For example, Ghana Card, say a binary card, a Ghana Card, so that we can all be captured within the system. No, amount for to me, it's your taxes. You are linking it to 10 number. Your account digitization program. All these are quite a number of programs or more to shore up the revenue and also to sort of seal off some of the revenue, leakages. So I was expecting some bit more highlights on, but he was rather referring to Ukraine, Russia war near there as a result of difficulties, which I thought it wasn't really great.
Now, did he have the benefit of time? Not time when to elaborate on the issues you are working on.
I mean, we are one-to-one interviewer. I think that as an interviewer, you have absolute control over what you say because interview are not intimate legislative now what you have to say. And we saw that clearly when he refused to answer some questions. I mean, he evaded some questions, rightly so, because we're interviewing, not saying beside questions. You decide how you want to answer it. And to me, on some of the issues, he masterly did that. Internet definitely whether there was time or no time, he had absolute control to determine what he said.
Because they tell me, Busa say, I asked production team to prepare me for the show this afternoon, and I said to them, say, Mama, me an idea, perspectives, how you saw the interview. And let me, quite unusually, let me put out how I was advised. I say the interviewer was aggressive and didn't allow the president to make his point initially until the president changed his strategy to be a bit more forceful so as to make his point. All the questions the guy was asking, the answer was in a global context. The interviewee could have been much relaxed because we sensed the interviewer wanted to play with his mind. The interviewee was also a bit aggressive. We think the answers given by the president was worth the questions asked. So, do you share this advice that have been given by my production team?
No, I politely disagree with them. Because every platform behind the character. Now, platform where a president to call him, this is not his first time. In fact, he's been on a much more, if I should put it, rigorous platform before. And Senator Mekai, before 2016 election, he had quite a very, rigorous platform as well. And in most cases, he has come out, excellently well. Now, what to me, that platform would be the same as platform Ayademan or one of the sister stations for Ghana. I mean, you cannot compare that platform to that. Into no community, that platform, the handlers, no money, that platform. They have to prepare him accordingly. And so what do you mean? I said when that time I interview, I know was aggressive. That platform is a very aggressive platform. It's a work I wouldn't handle. In any case, it wasn't adversarial. I think the interview and then my president quite a number of opportunities are and go back to me what fairly so an example of what an expert has said about E-levy. Besides E-levy, about double taxes. Now, that is an opportunity for President to explain. And to even say that E-levy is not the only source, but we have other sources in addition to E-levy. There was a clear opportunity. In the assessment now, production team, the amount, correct.
But you should not. But you wouldn't lose sight of the fact to say this was the same platform that got former President John Dramani Mahama a bit confused, and then in a retort sought to recompose himself by asking as a person or as a president. So you can imagine what the president was confronted with.
I agree. ADAKABRI, you see, your leaders, are somehow comfortable with the way the Ghanaian media, and I'm sorry to say, I am not saying the Ghanaian media is yet forceful and aggressive, but sometimes, most of the time, handlers of your leaders, I prefer friendlier platforms. Abanis are now more accustomed to that. If we expose our leaders to much more critical platforms, they would also be used to it. And see, I think the idea that the response, the interviewer was harsh or was very adversarial.
To the extent to say, you go through an interview and you begin to ask yourself, say, based on what research would the interviewer make a definitive statement, say, our economy is horrible, our economy, so where was he coming from?
Now, you see, ADAKABRI, this is journalism. These are provocative questions to elicit an answer from you. And definitely, as an interviewee, winning platform, until you are actually prepared. I like the way President actually rebutted and said, definitely, we are not in a terrible state. But that should follow with a much more insightful, specific Ghanaian, programs or they are two in place. HAP, economy. He mentioned the systematic gain of the city against city. You would expect at least some level of statistics, to back that claim. But what the president was in all generic. And to me, I'm more specific, answers to that. And that is the point that we are talking about in terms of the preparedness, in terms of the robustness, in terms of the defense, etc. And even some of the statistics he gave, some people have questioned them, saying that Adrian handlers now manage the true figures. So these are some of the points that we are talking about. And I feel that even when he actually came back to say that we are not in a terrible state, he probably could have actually shown us some level of compassion with businesses and people and the kind of pinch that they were facing. He didn't even recognize that. And that is actually a limitation because although you are actually doing an interview with BBC, you are communicating to your constituents. Where was the compassion to admit that indeed people are going through trying times? He never actually said that. It was almost as if it was mirroring an opposition in his communication. But that is not the case. You are speaking to your own constituents who are really facing tough times, who you claim that you put up measures to make sure that it will reduce the difficulties that they are facing.
You don't agree with political pundits suggesting the president was ambushed?
I disagree. I mean, we know, look, you won't go to a court show for you to think that he will let you go scot-free. You won't go to Peter's show for you to say that you go to scot-free. You won't go to Andrew Mar's show for you to say that you go scot-free. They will put it to you. And that is where your preparedness and your rigorousness would show. They are not like some of our friendly, journalism platforms that you go and they say, no. They will ask you tough questions, and you must be prepared for that.
So do you agree to suggestions by pundits that the president was dazed?
That the president
was dazed? So do you agree to political pundits' suggestions? Say, President, not why you dazed?
So in fact, I say why he dazed, to be honest, in all fairness. But I think that he was taken by surprise, some of the questions. Even when he says Peter was asking provocative, I thought it was jovial. I didn't actually take it as he going after Peter says being provocative. I think it was one of President's jovial style of communication, which we have all witnessed even during the campaigning. Saying so big campaign at the president has a very good way of managing tense in the situation, which I thought it was a flap. But I don't think that he was there. Maybe the preparation from the handlers wasn't that great.
Preparation. Because that brings to book say that brings to mind say E-levy who has and Nipa Miensa, myself, my senior co-character Mark Jerry, my news reviewer, another character Kabna Mafu. Yet it yasi yenina yentimi and for definitive information be and farmer general public about E-levy yesi. And then this is what I got from a senior person from the party. As my brother, the truth of the matter is that there are fundamental issues concerning the E-levy that we were not dealt with thoroughly. It therefore makes it difficult for some answers to be given. Suppose the president had gone into E-levy in a meticulous way, if we had made these mistakes, yeah,
he could have actually, kind of pitched his camp or other, initiatives that have been taken to shore up our revenue. At the end of the day, the question was all about, Ghana's, revenue sources. That's why the E-levy came in. I mean, it's all about Ghana's economy. And to say we don't have enough information on E-levy, you could as well spell out some of the initiatives that have been taken to actually shore up the economy of this country, which there are so many of them according to the government.
So in effect, you are suggesting he could have just rebutted and put the E-levy somewhere and then move on to capitalize on what he believes is done to shore up the Ghanaian economy.
Yeah, he could admit that E-levy is in addition to other measures that we have taken. Of course, you have scanty information about E-levy, but there are other measures that you have taken as well to, shore up the economy or to shore up the revenue sources. So you could admit that, yes, we have actually brought E-levy in addition to other measures that you have taken. And then you elaborate on those measures. But even the E-levy, you couldn't give specifics. And you couldn't give specifics on other, initiatives that you're taking to shore up the economy. And that's the point.
Could it also be, Sir President, pay attention to detailed brief that is given an hour?
Any moment they mean to mention, because without due respect, about insider knowledge, you wouldn't know, but we could only, guess, or we could almost speculate on some of the issues, given the facts on the ground.
Because obviously, sir, the president is not to be surprised. Into all when you prepare, no. There are so many instances in government. You prepare minister, you prepare president. Na obedru honomono. Na when Timia apply a detailed brief for a diamano to the context in which he is asked questions. Be that? An anti be that?
No, definitely I should be that. But for me, I think that I would take it from the angle that maybe the handlers couldn't actually give specific briefings for him to actually do justice on. I mean, we know the president's performance in the past. We know that he's an excellent debater. We know that he's an excellent communicator. And so based on that particular track record, it made me, like I said, it probably would be an insufficient briefing from his team as opposed to President Nankasa's performance.
Before you go, Dr. Kobi Mensah of the University of Ghana Business School, as you said, excellent debater, a top performer, very eloquent. This time round, all Kasano, the electricity, did you monitor it? Was it there?
My
so this time all Kasano, the usual top performing debate and no na ne vibes I know they kasa the electricity said and then no did you see those old touches now?
I think that is one of the things that make Kaya about the president and then the coherence and then the fluence and then I think that more Jonako from Kaka, and you can understand that because, I mean, the last
more especially when you use the word incoherence, are you suggesting he was incoherent?
Because there were
no, but the point is, are you suggesting he's incoherent?
we've shared interview now. Utimu said there were points at so, and that is the issue I'm talking about. But no, you can actually attribute it to age. I mean, we are talking about your president since the last election. This is almost the 6th year, and so for that one, I think it's
so when you make a point about the incoherence, linking it to age, you are therefore absorbing handless. Say be the best of brief. Now because of old age, he couldn't apply himself to it. It's be incoherent now.
Yeah, because when it comes to the talking, there's someone to me in Canada. I mean, they could give it the briefing, etc. But when it comes to the encoding of it, when it comes to the delivery, the speech, someone to me in Canada in that sense. And for that one, it would be from an own perspective, and that is actually subject to quite a number of things. And don't forget, the president was also there for another program. I mean, he was there for definitely. I think the launching of Ghana being open for tourism. And so it could be that the focus FRIMPONG was not directly on that, which of course I also would have expected that handlers could have prepared him from that angle. In fact, I was thinking that he could have even come from a very softer position by highlighting on the idea that Ghana is open for tourism. He's in the country to actually promote that. And then he dived into the more adversarial, the more rigorous point of it. And that could have actually given him a base to actually roll on. But they moved straight into the much more rigorous adversarial kind of position, which I thought it wasn't great either.
But then, sir, you are given the opportunity to follow up on issues that we talk about. And President, any interviewer, no kasa, only BBC journalist, kasa. Did you see him being given the opportunity on follow-up issues?
Yeah, definitely. I think the interviewer did that on a number of occasions. In fact, when he prompted the president, an expert from IEA has actually said that E-level was not necessary because people could plug in tax loopholes. These are some of the opportunities that an interviewer would give to an interviewee.
But the point is, interviewer and also rely on an IE, relying on Dr. Kwache. We can say, was the president bound not to be seen, say, or endorse IE or endorse Dr. Kwache if he were to follow on the lines, interview and introduce Dr. Kwache as also statements? Nana.
It's not an endorsement. I mean, we deal with, we use expert opinion for public work. I expected that maybe when President said that it was his opinion and said that, yes, there are other experts in government, he could have actually gone ahead to actually let the interviewer know that we have other programs in addition to E-levy, and not only E-levy that we are using to raise funds. I think that would have been an excellent response rather than being dismissive totally.
Finally, Dr. Kobi, Mensa of the University of Ghana Business School, availability of information that Ghanaian investors may require to make informed decisions as to where they put their investment in. So, in the arena of the 1D1F, One District, One Factory program, and a whole member of parliament who is a Ghanaian intending to set up a steel factory and did not know of the benefits or register under the 1D1F. And then we had an Indian, one year Ghana, an Indian, and actually say, oh, your benefits, and then eventually the MP is more or less so much elated. Say, hey, say, and then goes about. How do we put up opportunities to Ghanaians so as to position ourselves to take up any thing that comes our way as Ghanaians?
Well, I think that I'm not really sure about this particular issue I will raise, but if we have to look at it from general perspective, I mean, if you're an investor, you should know sources of information. I mean, anyone who wanted to go to investment or go into business, it means the person has a certain level of expertise, has a certain level of knowledge. So you should know where to get the right information and to go and search for it. You know that you have to go to like GIPC, you know that you have to go to maybe, even if you are not sure, you can go to AGI, Association of Ghana Industry. They can direct you to or signpost you to the right sources of information. And I think in the general frame of frame of things, the ministries and the agencies would always make information available. But you, the proponent of that particular business, should know where you have to get the right information.
Right. Dr. Kobe Mensah, yani say we woni yetimi edi nkomo ewo NEAT 100.9 FM. Right. Dr. Kobe Mensah ana ono so odete se ukono na nim bia wokro na ubehu se do be say afa on Facebook live ubetimi akọ na eno so dia ba ubetimi WhatsApp so on 050-600-0909 Kovinya akon eno ka no Eskado Ketan eno di free by. Also, good afternoon to the hardworking Agric Minister for his unprecedented policies in the agriculture sector, which is yielding great results for Mother Ghana. And on Facebook Live, whatever. Don Louis, GH, also Nyantachi took sports bribe. John Mahama took every bribe be bribe. Yet one criminal is paying for his crime, and the other criminal is repackaging himself for re-election to come and still using the media as a tool. This is Africa. And Ode Ebaye. Kunta Kiss. Sadly, Dr. Kobe didn't listen to the president. The president didn't mention e-levy. That was introduced by the interviewer. Lilian Akosua Bediakon. Oh, Papa J was always right about this issue that Captain Thomas Sankara was killed by his own people. Today, it's been vindicated. Ghana is next to work on wicked leaders. Also, also, MPP can never win a real election in Ghana anymore for the hell they've unleashed on Ghanaians. Kunta Kinte now comes back. Did the interviewer give the president opportunity for follow-up? This doctor will give his students 20% without recourse to the environment. And or they buy Nabe or see Jimmy Host, a low lawyer, always want to bring the government down. And then he continues. This fool said Nanadu pee behind a mosque and paid ADAKABRI to bring Nanadu and his government down. You are a big fool, old man like you. You work for VIP and illiterates. And or the buyer. Nana Kwasi Apia Sechi. Or say, good morning, Professor ADAKABRI. I'm watching you live from Manhattan, New York City. Wishing everyone an educative and entertaining show. God bless Latte Equiapim, Ghana and USA. And also Edibaye. Going further, me I was up here on 050-600-0909. Na yajibre na yetimi. Eti 11, you know, Adru Bra wasanka published pages in the Ghanaian dailies. Na figure biano ni achire dienka say ubia nya na.
Well, we understand your bad. Yes, so we understand your bad because they say yempo yaji president has sent it, and then no implementation processes and on that. One mugusu and one more airshare. Finance minister, what I say on the 1st of May, implementation process in the Beshasi. It will be better. Nanka at least one bit tablet BB because a month for no maybe nanam Facebook so it be accurate, it be accurate. One of the agents rely.
There's accurate information in readily available.
And you're readily available, and the fact. It is one baby more, and then the question na bibisano. Say, Yanni Tokusi and Namda Day, Woma Capo, Womo. I himself 20,000 transaction, and your 10 cities, and I'll be to you. When you anything less than 10,000 Ghana cities, you will pay 1%. Of our principal amount and our total amount what they transact it's your no yenyanity say I'm buying it telkusia kokasa the woman to amodi and so by 0.25%. It's your aquacoca 0.75%. It's yesre biso says 0.75% and the bear capped and I say telcos no call mo tetinimu say na sika bia besendi bia no wom better say 1% na 90 cents no ehu hia papa yesre wom fama yen a meka say mebisa eye John Kuma bebisa kojo oponkroma ewo me programs amatenemu eso a yenya saa nyia no yie it is nyia no wom famra ne yehu it wom de ba na afi wom tabulate over said ya woka no wom publish we daily simo na official portals any social media handles of Ministry of Finance and Information Ministry ne de keka ho no de ewa ban mu na ye official no wo fa nto ho iti anya hwe kra no wo fa wo fa na se wo hwe se de wo maye na wo calculate usika do kwakoya no wahu dia ye betel so on say the city no nti wo ya na che se wahu se dia etie iti wo mo ye ne sa na e betumi am ye nya the better understanding na phase over wo se nipa bi withdraw wo musika
eno na nanka me ba wo se kana sibe
eye no kure
sa na ye tete
every we de kana sibe ono ankasa nanum no wo ka se panic withdrawal
okay
cost wo
sufficient information for anybody to make
because panic panic withdrawal na me hu faso bia egbom because okwa withdrawal 11 no ento okwa withdraw sika na 11 kano enkano na mom wodi sika na egu mom so a wodi transact wodi send akwakomo obi no na 11 no etewo etu okwa withdraw ento ti se ne no sa wo kasa wo koyi usika putupuru mu e de afiri wo momo wallet so a se de wo mpese wo tuya 11 no 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 me shada entiase because ya wo ye no emfa bibia emma se usika no da so na wan fan send am obi na ye wadwen se wo kwa withdraw emfa hu se 11 ya sha ase ye de ye adwuma ento so they say nti wenum ni nyina na information bi a aban na tene sa immediately eso mo ba abonten ebe chem se na amanfo kra putupuru wa mo koko yi wo musika no yi musika na 11 ka no eye we be awode send na 11 ka no nti wenum nyina information a eso mo ma emu yetimete ye ho ase so ho ye de ko ye ni mo fa
unconfirmed information coming through indicate say president of the republic Takrade MC, you know, you were reinstating.
Oh, it was
maybe some say,
Papa na, okay,
I want the police in India. Or better transfer police in Nako Asankreguano.
Transfer Asankregua. How some kind of the men I had you crowd, Miss Assam Nameti and a crown of guy. Upon the one day, over transfer anything. Not just a moment to transfer your punishment, and I say,
but to say the offer, I cannot say unconfirmed. We be a president in some who say, and from so
okay, now as some that's so opposed to for someone now because here can also case minimum, and that's so but so I know not 2 minutes crown and to bet 2 minutes crown no and for pussy for and the Mamukra and Mamu. And I say you say be a assault case be a bear. I don't know my Sandiaman and Yamayakra and Yamaya say your bird children. And say Yamaya, no mum, young bird children ye. There's a precedent reinstating a problem be anyhow. But say me was some a Gusua was to form some court. And now because you're remanded the crowd, then so called police custody overnight. Overnight. Eti akoko takosi se
ana photo and the fruit
so photo bi and the fruit so ase
what dey aduane
ni what dey go aduane aso opunu ko be buy
am se ko be bi mu no opunu and dey na nya opunu
na aduane odi na ntwe no
ho opunu fifiri te no
oh dem
eti confirm ba konso
yenim de but say no press
on confirm ba konso wo mo tre say IMF fu aba
IMF why then
wo mo aba Ghana
IMF aba Ghana wo mo be den
na mentimi guso
IMF we dey say
well wo kro mu
hada so wo mo country directors ne ade wa enti wo mo ba be hwie sika se mu ana say wo ba be okay anyway enti ye dey oh okay
yani ye heska
enti dey wo mu ni say you know MC you know ono no say na wafa omampanyin ne eye BBC journalist enkomodie na say amount for say
do almost here ne king It's been confirmed. He's been reinstated by the president.
Oh, sir.
And a message, okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Wafa. Please, it's about time that you start editing some messages sent onto your program, or don't read them at all. Even Facebook, do not accept everything posted. I don't understand why you allow some to insult the whole you on your show.
I know Wafa, me baby say. Message ni bi wo hono Ofa, can you imagine say the time we be sorry share research we be ye share nimdia wo enipa mpempem a etie wo
Kwabene so so a what can me masesa nyam yanam da hoti yi at times we be say bi on po asemu at times they wish say bibi papa bi wo mu anka onyaye ananka akwana fam why it yen disregard wo mo ginam who may yes, adwuma we say mfa ho ni nekura de say aba from one say speaker of parliament and was in Saka petition ama 3 honorable members Dom Kwabenya Ayawaso Central Asini Central the Asini Central in the Central region, Dom Kwabenya in the Greater Accra, Ayawaso Central in the Greater Accra. Yeah, what refer to the privileges committee. There is an aspect of it whether a speaker no, I was a member and raise such a petition. And now say speaker's petition or no so ultimate speaker statement or no so to me kwa J ubia no asem e de beka na nipa no a no e de petition come speaker no owura honorable former member of parliament for Kumbungu Ras Mubarak. Honorable Mubarak yamwa
many ADAKABRI measures
na motivation ben ma who petition the speaker of parliament relating to absenteeism in the Ghanaian parliament.
The indica mame speaker of parliament abaso the courage any anamua to ensure that the constitution is respected. Na the say ye nyina as omama no oyo omama pa wasede se bibi etuchima ana bibi any your constitution ebo ebra otwe adwen ekoso ema yede ye etu ye. Na the issue of absenteeism of MPs ebaye na me twen say nka at least members of parliament nka ebi ebe raise the issue with the speaker. Unfortunately I didn't see any light, and I felt say as a citizen there is nothing that stopped me from petitioning the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament to refer the matter to the Privileges Committee for deliberation. Until now, ubisaya, that was the motivation behind my petition to the Speaker.
So, any suggestion by any political pundit, sir, who Speaker of Parliament ASK Babin, Right Honorable, is using you as a conduit to target some MPs. What do you make of that?
I'm sure, sir. Minia unnim mikra nanye 20 years. Sir. Yenyina azuso asoma mapa no. As I said, yesum ye mai sompa. Na bisa almost the same way, but bisa almost say, has there been a breach of the constitutional provision or not in respect of these MPs? If there have been a breach of the constitutional provision, then what's the.
But at least we know of honorable member for Asawase, minority chief whip, vehemently opposing the speaker on the floor as he was on the speech, and the speaker is requesting of him to resume his seat, and then he also kept on telling the speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, and then Mr. Speaker also rebutting, resume your seat, read your standing order as well, read your whatever well, and quite a spectacle to see as Honorable Asawase more or less heckling the speaker.
For a fact, said the honorable member for Asawase is my direct uncle. You also know for a fact, said he's been in parliament for a long time, so he has experience. And now, or the conduct now, it was not what you call it, exemplary of a senior member of the House. Because normally when the Speaker bangs the gavel or a gavel, no me who said the mechanic or the sheho baako mienu miensa, serious. The Speaker was almost close to standing up. In parliamentary practice, was a Speaker a bangi gavel not still MPB edaso kasa. Speaker is original. That is the highest of the level of provocation at MP Betima provoke Speaker. I expected Senka, Speaker Kasa Ontanasino, he would, at least pause and listen to the Speaker. But let's come to the substance of the issue.
But then, in fact, that is an issue we need to clear. Sir, when he also sought to let the Speaker know, sir, he has a right to make up a point, not necessarily to be, sir, thwarted by the Speaker, say, transit. Now I can't cast a bush and what do you make of that?
No, ADAKABRI, you know parliamentary practice. You follow parliament in Westminster and Ghana for a long time. Oh, per se, okasa, Speaker Nese Maokwai, Speaker Maokwai, untimin kasa. Speaker Maokwai, akwenya, untimin kasa. Na, the atiane say, Ekwanya Speaker efa so edi petition no koe no mo say omuti kwapai. My question to them, and they say, whose interest are they serving? Are they serving the public interest, or they are serving their own personal interest?
But at least when you assess the underlying reasoning of Honorable Asawasia, he posited, say, they are in a closed shop where they should be each other's keeper. So if you are to allow an alien to come in to make a point, and then the Speaker relies on that alien, that's why I asked you earlier, say, we are conduit now to the extent, say, a dictator, a supposed dictator Speaker could then use a conduit and then come to punish somebody the Speaker doesn't like, or the Speaker does not want the person to gain, or can say, or no soon stage our parliament. And we need to look at it. Do you agree that parliament is a closed shop, and for that matter, members should assess themselves and will be happy about member conduct in relation to standing orders? They themselves could raise it rather than the Speaker relying on a Speaker's statement to bring in a person like a former member of parliament who may be wanting to see some members of parliament punished.
ADAKABRI, I wrote a petition for the Speaker to refer this matter to Privileges Committee concerning 4 MPs. One, Ajwasafo, menene like we are tight. Menene very, very close.
She's married, so it's okay. Like we.
The Honorable, Mekasa menene close at Madam Fo. What I say? My colleague, okay, my former colleague, and menene are very close, okay. They're supposed to be the Honorable Ebenezer Kojokum, a very good friend of mine. We served on the same committee together for 4 years, even out of parliament, and it's most unfortunate. I'm wishing a very speedy recovery. Yet also, Honorable Kennedy Japan was my chairman of the communications committee. And Tokobia ni menene temu. Henry Cote menene fine. So there's nothing personal. ADAKABRI, let's stay focused on the issues. What are the issues? And then a constitution neka. Constitution ne say, "Oh, ya mrashe bedwenia." Ese say oba mrashe bedwem ebeye adwuma. Na empo se untimi mrashe bedwem embeye adwuma. Ma speaker aso ente. Na when timi ma speaker aso ante in writing. Na o mese a meeting of parliament for more than 15 times. Yemfa wasem enko Privileges Committee. Enti conduit every hin buy. Na bisaomo those who are making this argument. Adentina semi buy. What were they doing as MPs? And then or more better minority leader and the chief whip. And then or more better say some MPs have absented themselves now. So you swear an oath to protect the Constitution. You swear an oath of office. What can Tamkura say? Oba Constitution no ho by no. You are sleeping on your job. Now, as a citizen, Me said no. The way I said it, it breaks down the collapse. It collapses trust in Parliament. Now with the assembly about Parliament, I was with Tukapai. Now that can say you protect the Constitution. No. What were you doing? You should be asking them this question. And more shocking for me, ADAKABRI, is the fact that this is coming from a section of the leadership of the minority. A section of the leadership of the minority, specifically the Honorable Muntaka and the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Because it doesn't have the buy-in of many of their members. That's a fact. It does not have the buy-in of many of their members. That's exactly what they're doing. So crying more than the bereaved. Ajosafu is being treated unfairly. So they have to, bring about justice. What were you doing when the issue came up and was in the public domain? What were you doing?
Expectation at the end of it or anything?
Kwame, Empire, and Amebo say, one are omoye members of the Privileges Committee, no. Omo de nyamisro, ene omaye no do. Normal had the implication of not dealing with this thing justly. Because private Ghana bisa open the phone lines. Nebisa Ghana ni ben no betina hama ono ejuma ono ordinary sikate no. One hour for omo ejuma se omo nye ejuma ma no. Ejuma no omo ejuma omo so omo for explanation be am. Who would tolerate this? Is it because Parliament is public office and for which reason we should treat it anyhow?
At the end of the Privileges Committee deliberations, what are the possible outcomes? A bit me about.
Oh, I mean, two outcomes: guilt or not guilty. Say Privileges Committee, if it's say or more breach the Constitution, no, they'll make some recommendations. The Constitution is clear. Once you miss the 15, it's all called Privileges Committee, not privileges, a deliberation on it. So I'm not messing as a privileges are making a recommendation that they lose their seat.
Okay. If they have any reasonable reasonable explanation, be at the privileges level, no, now between that reasonable explanation, about.
Exactly. One was said, minority leader, Honorable Muntaka Jinem. Adi encore Privileges Committee also say in the future a vindictive speaker can do whatever. What are they talking about? Are they suggesting said the members of the Privileges Committee of today or Privileges Committee of tomorrow would not have the integrity? Because is insulting to members of the Privileges Committee.
Oh, but at least but in all fairness, Honorable Mubarak, the woman say beauty of democracy. The honorable member for Asawase indicated say, or this is the notice of intention to vehemently challenge the speaker's action by bringing in a substantive
it's within
motion.
His right.
When he brings in the substantive motion, perhaps
it's within his right. As a matter of fact, okay. As a matter of fact, the speaker be a Emma ruling. Any member of Parliament can challenge the ruling of the speaker, through a motion. And don't forget, ADAKABRI, we're dealing with a speaker who's the longest serving member of Parliament in the history of Ghana from colonial times. They've been there. Obianya, 28 years in Parliament. So in terms of experience, in practice, he's been a minority leader, he's been a majority leader, he's been a deputy speaker, he's now speaker. He's a lawyer on top of that. Okay. And no interest Speaker Backbone is perfect. But Obe challenge here, it should be based on something, that is very, very sound. Or not because you think Sarah Joasafo is being treated unfairly. Now, as an NDC member, if Sarah Josefu is being treated unfairly, is that your locus?
Nationalism. Nationalism by partisanship.
What is the bipartisanship in this?
He said
Is that how to protect the public purse?
At least as a closed shop.
How you protect the yes, uncle privileges committee no. You want to start you want to frustrate the process.
Okay, we will leave it here. We will leave it here.
Finally, ADAKABRI.
Right.
Finally,
okay.
If you give me 20 seconds.
Okay.
They've had every opportunity to raise this on the floor of Parliament, and they have derelicted. And these are my words. They have derelicted their duty, to protect the public purse and to abide by the oath of office to defend the Constitution of the Republic. Their conduct, the minority leader and the chief whip, is very embarrassing, to say the least.
Okay, I thought I had finished with you, but then I have a comment from I was showing us here interactive. Into this is from Kunadu Yadom Ewa Tema, and then he goes. Good afternoon, sir. This is from Kunadu Yadom Tema. Thank you for your excellent deliveries. Respectfully, how did Honorable Mubarak got privy to the attendance of these honorables? Have a wonderful day. So tell us. This
has been reported. I'm a citizen of Ghana. As a citizen of Ghana, I have a right, a duty, not a right, a duty. So in
the light of this statement from the listener and your response, would you want to restate or tell us more? Cynthia answers will be say you may be a conduit through which Babin, ASK Babin, Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, EPSA or the target will be.
ADAKABRI, it's laughable. That suggestion is really laughable, and it's also insulting to the speaker. It's very insulting to the speaker and insulting to me. Say Ras Mubarak. And then I started to share my dream on issues of public interest and on issues of the nation. Now say certain members of Parliament. I may say threshold the constitution now allow. Now my raise here or say I'm a conduit for the speaker to punish some people. I don't know. I said no court privileges committee. And yet nipa na ekoka asem no. Is the speaker of parliament a member of the privileges committee?
Okay, let's wait and see.
It's completely
let's wait and see what happens there. Inti yabedo wase papa. Right, and former member of parliament for Kumbungu, Ras Mubarak, and Adi Enkomo. I will say a nipa 4, but for other reasons we did not ask of the 4th person. Nebia sympathies also come in. It's an issue of say absent without permission.
Permission, yeah,
absent quicker. Absent without permission.
And to be bit my absent with permission. I speak an agiatum.
Nanabu Susamin Kanchiro say Ochiao or London.
Oh, sir.
Into ya grant an interview. Na the Wakuhun or London one Kanchiro.
Yeah, Nana Bunzu.
I
disappointed MP.
I
Wakupi more London.
Wakupi more London. And I chin it na airport. From Anopanu Heathrow, Anopanu Siana plane could reano. And you bring Nunsia and a year day. And Sana Utimija no. And Yemen Adriania Dino so or Pacho. Said Adrian would do a buffet. And also Udidi Susuno so or no ban. Now, why young was a bad chance and what did he? When he did play no and only D Susono. Why you know drew at say and be as it is Ujina Buckingham Palace. And also in country Jerry say Ujina Buckingham Palace. I just say I didn't know country him mamma.
Oh, can't just say Michiano names and my men who be a Miku Nyai will hit through no Montenesono. I'm the Nubino so film and I made the end of the na Sabrina na by you or so on the one and an incense some abano. The Sabrina they will do hit through a chance, especially no free Ghana, they are naive. What Terminal 7 or Besha Wama, one boom say, yeah. When you are break. Now, boom, so much. I'm not going to one crammy.
You put
to
right. Yam Kona, Solomon Owusu so.
Okay.
We saw him Solomon Owusu.
Me Solo.
Dr. Solomon Owusu.
Where Dr. Solomon
Owusu so ni mono.
Yeah.
We have about 10 minutes to talk to him. Na ensembi kakra ewo ho no mu a obese yehwe na ye kan ho asem. Enti eba ne se ya na ono so de wonu se de. Doc ya mo ha.
Yeah.
Na o te san.
Na me ado. Me da se. Bibi akoso.
Now, a lot is happening in the mining sector. In the saying, and people can say, I was here to me in a year. In the Minerals Commission, I have a document here that is been addressed to the chairman of the Regional Security Council, 2nd D, dated October 6, 2020. And then it's a request for security to deal with illegal mining on the concession of Adamus Resources Limited. This is in the light of clashes be a bar ya a wokurako frimo ede aba. Initially, tell us what are your thoughts as to how we should handle such issues, no?
You know, family that say, I'm upon your with your phone now. Debia me a wo se e ma men kan brofo and the question o de brofo na e bisa me ti a men ka tua na men kan brofo
ka street language a ye nyina ye beti ase
yo ofa me da se ofa ansa na me ko ne e bi wo ofa ase e ko kakra wo wa de na ti se obetumi atwa ma me a
yes say ya na
ti say dem say
ma change channel no eti yen hwe say we ya na yen stick to this channel enti uti yanka dia your initial thoughts
yo dia say say ofa answer na meko problem no na kata no ma me elaborate on document na wonsa aka no eye me tete wonsa kan document ni bi ofa de bia se me ba wo video so na me be cafe galamse ya ekosu nyina etone ni ntese ensasene ni afefe tento kwantoko esisi no me de ehu insansa ebo aban ya oteso ene ne mpanyimfo se omu nim hu bia ya na amanfo edi matinye document we eye evidence tesia o se watiefo a etie fiwiase afa na nyina etie no mu tie ni ofa mamenko first paragraph second one of it, the Tapa district of the commission investigated the matter, and the report indicates that Okoping Mining Limited and Nanam Concern has been mining illegally on the concession of Adam. Of a way, Mineral Commission Mineral Commission Chief Executive Officer CEO Nakasa Nenta Esasi Adam and a report to Okobing or no or ye Galamsey campaign or Western Regional or ye strongly affiliated to a particular political party body and I'm alleging as any panel near all your Western Region na police in Penny Operation Vanguard Pony Regional Minister this is your baby or Obianim and Obian because for your financier at the party, member party meeting. Now Obianim. Now the attorney says Adamus resource a year last gold mining and a walk in the Teleku and the area home. A year Elembele district. A one or no in Infidia Posito, our mining concession it belonging to that company. Company na ya free mpanyifo nyina ya free company ne letter for ma Mineral Commission say omo we no mo pam na Mineral Commission CEO na nkasa atro odinkan investigation takwa Mineral Commission and omo de na report no mamenkan ensro o say the commission has made several attempts
to restrain Nana Mponsa from continuing with his illegal mining activity. Oma ya galamsey would die to investigations and realize it say I was say almost permanent. Now Mameka has written Kakrawa. Or say Adamus has informed the commission that Mr. Amponsa continues mine the concession. Now, no, medicine so far is nothing ever reference. I don't know what me was reading. After what saying, the commission would like respectfully request the support of RESEC, that's the Regional Security Council, to stop. The word is to stop. One can say to arrest or to stop the illegal activities of Mr. Amponsa on the concession of Adam. Now my question. Offer 2021. 2021 now Operation Vanguard for Ghana. The obedient illegal mining now yes no and after yes stop no. And then according to all your illegal mining are employing him from Takwa Minerals Commission to Regional Security Council to Adamus to IGP to everybody. Obiaya aware of copying illegal mining. Illegal. The people under one in Sameboa, Hamo Obian to be said, the FDMA Kameboa. Illegal mining. Can also President Kufado as they who sika. Nansen prior to a dialogue almost send 10 million Ghana city. Dialogue 10 million Ghana city. I who did it. Omakoto drones on I don't know how many echo pump galam say for Omakoto galam stop aboarding. Nani university when you send the power way yes galam say. Namosi ya pamna and pam. Ya umpriso. That means one kasano galam say na mobile one thing at the castle ni pano. Yes, post them keka and throw any sabi. Adam could have given an amodi. After yes, for galamsey. No more for Nana galamsey, no. Offer one more that time. Operation Vanguard 40 woman, SUM CDA, Edium Koku prison, no. Sabi or copying or Yagana Nitamo. One more Sabio, Yatisi woman, Elfu woman, it's your bobby, it's already your bobby to a galamsey, or what Miami Chrome. The Bobby to so yet and say, or copying the not your bonus to an enemy. Thank you for some to see on yes, most of them no man so or more yana for some. Or copy the most why ya would die into a copy may Fregana for Mutemu. Say, it's the IDP become a sending message among some about what it is. Only enough from comfort takra, a man in fact, and say that Takran, offer being enough, no here. As a man can be weird. No one said, no more there was Ghana, not a year at IG, not a year at Attorney General, not a year at Chief Justice, not a year at a Lance Natural Resources Abujina for answer of fighting Galamsey. When him Galamsey cost for Ghana, and for Korea no big now, no a couple of pockets here, and they are confusing the now, maybe away, my member and Topam, you know, is you Elembele and Etapa.
Chichimuche.
Elembele, last Friday, ya offer. Yes, I'll copy ya. And now, on no one, your audience and a point, almost yes, so we did ya. And a young Adam, or my miney baby, or Metaho, just so young one, now when I am beginning to Kaka. A long Kogua, Omoye, Ombusia, a Juma was Ahumate, and Adam Bona, almost all my panel, popping on the Pamano, almost my foot for. Any political, every regional security council. What is the voice? It's what is the voice? That Friday now, no, I know, no for Emrano. Or when I come, bro, for say, Justice Grant Rowley. That's it. The Justice Grant Rowley, and yet then a woman with a multi or more of my Adana, Muslim would almost call my head, or my pushing. Omodia or Cobbin, the only you turn one, and yet. Expensive diesel and a beba. Quite media, you told me one emoji and a beba, the boy. Now, my main trust, and na ɔmo de ɔmo kɔ court no ɛna ekuro mu wɔ mbɛburu no sɛ adan na yɛtumi tí ɔmo na daade na yɛde ɔmo kɔ court na ɔkɔbɛn deɛ adan nti ɔmo de court hɔ white na mpɛtuo ɔmo amfa sekan ɔmo amfa hwee ɔmo tó ɔna nipa baako sɛ obibio court hɔ na wɔtie nsɛm a kɔ adu a yɛde bɛbɔ boys no na sɛ ɔmo wie a ɔmo de ayɛ tee sɛ na kɔ adu na de na ɔmo amfa bia nkɔ ɔkɔbɛn ɛna sojafoɔ no sɛ ɛmo obi ntwa video ɛmo obi ntwa picture that's a ehunahuna ɛnsɛmafo boys no so deɛ ɔmo awie aka so ɔsi tension ɔmo betwa etuo tinten sojafoɔ no kum nipa asan so ɛpirapira nipa all because obi ntwa picture na mepatɔ ɔkɔbɛn deɛ adan na ɔno so dɛ mo antena afa na nkɔkɔ that same day oyɛ nipa sen boys no kɔbi yɛ time a CEO of Mineral Commission extra talent away the time at the call Regional Security Council. This is the Regional Security Council for Ebexino, Ebema Operation Vanguard for Actino. Now you are telling to say yeah attack Daniel no. Omo conference or coming a year word declare yes bro. Die ye pacho. Obi o garam say no. Omo papa na tell who die. Elu die. O die no. Apena e come the point no. Ene je nipa de we papa America, we bonya America. O ye no na employ boys. Ema omo ye den enye bibi titi kakra. Nti ba sa na e come the boys no. E wo system na krono ne ade e koso. Ena ape mamembo abugina poso first mamembo abugina pone dipa abaso. Baby a omo ye bone no me fa ye omo. Baby omo ye papa me fa ye omo. Ye tie ni se. Omo trans mu se dabi. Community mining airport. And also the idea abana or the big pretty doors for the people. In Chad na young Adam. That's almost as no mining. Then the community mining. That boy is senior money and pa omuni Adam Mustinat. And when you phone yet and every for the among farmer boys to in this kaka. And almost this some dear community mining. Or copying ya illegal mine, I say, hey, let's pick up I want just here. And then on who did you hope? Ya Jeffrey in some. Yes, the community man, any or better woman, no far. The menu young them. That's a better man, and your course, Medical. Say, young Kokum, the leader of the community man, your own managing Ama Pino. What party and Kukum? Pano Coboyan of Amino Cafe. Sepa, Abba out, I any voice. Any assailant, any voice. Any if you are promised to almost say, or better me a dear Kukum. Effect Emmanuel now really done. Upon the thing, take room upon the thing. That is shown or promising and Panko Koto. Emma 24 can't take 24 could say that assailant. And almost upon interrogation. Almost the 2 times, quite me almost Diana or Cobbin a small one. It's so crowd tomorrow. Emma 24 could do a few minutes. Western Regional Police Command, a woman some Damanoka. 44 now, my Sambo Deputy Regional Commander, upon the Yamitin Mupa. Near Metity, and near Alec, and it will be glad to keep for past them was one day after we have got them. And see, one more course. Can you imagine so? Obia attempted assassination case. That bomb could do some. Court a jail. Court a jail. That's the court a jail. But it's honest, baby. That happened December 2021. And that court a jail. March 23rd, 2022. And yet 3 months down the lane. And a tackle incident this year. Or probably Kroya and Uncle Fona or Bomo Pano. I work here for him. Really, Emma almost pursue Emmanuel in his team. Uncle Emmanuel from open a coup, and on there, or put me escape yet. And almost to send a voice. A pumbako, a prepradia of a.
Hey,
but still written in Nam, no Casema, Yentino, that Sabio Tafrata or Kobe or Unipassing Organians. The third prayer. What's no attempt? What's and so who could be paid? Then a settle on what don't me talk of community. And it's a round we bow. Intimate IGP.
It nature say, Yanu Caseno, Ubersoch say, Sa and Sa Asama is see, you know, Ubiano, Enina, Emrano, because of Sasam see, you know.
Now, in fact, Omwa and Topano, therefore, both Oma no Monam Bebia, assailants, no position, both assailants, and Oma, a position, Omuna, the Reman, Yao. Obi on the baby, Yakukan, Yakna Reman. Then, your couple pass a young Kukuno or a Namo. Yanya or Cobenway, I challenge IGP from Rap on Timber Country or Coben Yakin. All because IGP Nakasa, from powers and it is our combination of the bodies in a Western region. Obian Minka. And no, and me participate more and I'm for the hair to move to a canon. How can we practice democracy with this impunity, injustice, collective justice?
I'm saying,
democracy.
It is a Siano. Again, I was say, I was say, ye, edifa Sadi, we say,
Papa Medasi, Antana Meko, ye, no, my memo, a home to Sansoki to be not pay Mamma, we not yet. Yes, there are two basic things, two basic consequences, and I give it to you. One, I am my Ghana, and I can say a mining crew. Or mining, and a mining investment, yeah, amount for the year. Almost in time, a year, confidence index analysis. Ever since Sikana Omudi Kusimuno, every Sikani is safe. A current MBA and Bama Sikano and say, and I say, and Pasubem. Now, the confidence index, no say, almost a calculator, hands of Pantopa, encroachment. And it's an Omaya ACC, and no estimate a degree, a confidence index of a country. My yes, I know money behind me. I know what I'm talking about. And investors, no, if I say, company with a Newmont, or more, if you are America, Australia, and South America, Australia, the M10 America, South America, and Ghana. And the Ombeca baby almost can you say from their Ghana and the Becca on consistency. Come over here, 2014, Anglo Board Asante down. All because of Galante encroachment account, a key factor. And he said, the per invested ever Ghana or something for her as to start them with. Number two, a civil war. Our mineral competitivity at the civil war can see to a mama episode, M10 for 4 arguments. I'm a man for few minutes, and Bobo in Procacra. I'm over realize it's a Ghana, young red answer, and some we are no at the Oyenek, one. DR Congo in 1996, Angola in 1975, Liberia in 1978, Sierra Leone in 1991, Cambodia in 1978, Colombia in 1984, Indonesia in 1969, Papua New Guinea in 1998, Afghanistan in 1997, because I'm Boba a baby. It is a BS to a man before. I was saying, yes, there is a mount and you point a Mokama and say, who to be above the set, yeah, who are sent you a studio, and don't tell me, I may what I do. Of a man, possible solutions, Jimbra. I would not talk or an officer only not to offer a person, a Hokotaka, any not one gas making. No one died before I see a walking and a dialogue names who are efforts for Ghana. Offer one. Then him say, mining, small scale mining, a critic for millions of people. You can't doubt that. And now, a man or Muyen, Ghana, you can't small scale mining. There were licensed small scale mine, or more of a project license. Now, Muyoma, with regards to the law and Omo. And you work illegal miners, Omo wants a license, only from Galamsey phone. And you work community mining, Omo establishing and saying, yes, small scale mining category. Now, the eternity say, Omo me and saying, they catch a boot upon them, who ni more, until ye say, and yet Galamsey phone and the same to 10. Community mining, no, Galamsey for scientists, small scale mining to Omo now same to 10. Now, the effect I want to say, Omo no be no data. They get millions and billions of Ghana city $10. And so tax. Almost to a form of good year from that's why they have a lot of money. I don't know, obviously, TV to A, let me watch, let me quote, let me say, because almost tax in every. Now, the idea we, one person almost solve guarantee problem to study almost air canal, president, I saw almost almost and find the Munyam now. One, in some babu was the Abugina Pompa Pen draw. One, avoidance of concession encroachment. As you said here, SUO, and Zuma, and Tapane, Eastern region. Two, proper land acquisition strategy. Three, rightful registration procedures. Four, legitimate licensing and permitting process. Five, development of standard operating procedures. And then your friend SOP. And to say, I'm going to book more. And say, and then as I'm no cafe, woman time to this yes, yeah, particular and say, yeah, particular and say, woman, they be able to do this. Number 7, pollution free operation approach. Number 8, effective monitoring. Monitoring as man here can, and I will not commission will be a guarantee almost all that command say, also put your part of support, instead of them to apply the law. 9, law enforcement. Law enforcement as man making offer. O man discriminatory. Just obi there or go yemfa soldier pon continue falling to Sadana. Obi there or go yemfa na tell school die. When die yemfa kwan bi so ne nkasa. Offer. Akanaba any pussy naba. Omunya mpepe forma. Ya na galante form you. Ba ko de yemfa na tell.
India another time no I can say kwasius ene abrosu a omunya kaniba finally you need to go dear na de bejayen
ya me de bejayen say media for no especially wo a wo kasa edu ekire ene mpanyimfo aka wo Ghana no galamte no the man said, I'm from the form, I'm both the grow, I'm my final president, Nankasa, and who I wouldn't have what the commander with the meeting guarantee to obey who be.
You,
what? They are not engaging the right procedures and the right expertise to do the job. That is why it has lasted for so long.
You.
Almost said, some media for more presence to Musuna now Kukwado.
Right. Nyame enka Dr. Solomon Owusu, a mining consultant based in the United States, and yanena atwetwen enkomo no. Betimi I was up here on 050-600-0909. Na Marjorie. Eja asemo atome. Nana Bonsu say Neat FM handle no. Ya mfane photo anto am obi ehun so gina. Buckingham Palace ofo beka crash oboa. Na wa anko London obi a. Anti nana ya. Mr. Mufa Nana Bonsu to am obi ehun say Nana Bonsu akọ London ati ana. Marjorie. Over. Asimu what be da. Na
the amount for beka no odi a kire dia say na wa go London ene.
Ti Nana Bonsu
obi tini be na so no say Nana Bonsu go London bia.
Eno ogina ho no.
Say no de nka ho ya so wa ba handle no.
Wa ba so a che say o ne gina Buckingham Palace no. Oh ye. Odi she ba Nana Bonsu. Eno odi no hwe. Eno ogina say no hwe.
Ongo place kan famra na.
Odi she ba Nana Bonsu. Eno ogina ho no odi she ba. Odi she ba wanye ba bia kwa kobutu. Na ena onam nyina so show na didi ntirimu ama ade hye na som woti Nana Bonsu chesa College Association for no be fin papa hwe eno ogina fa wasa ko Wembley Nana Bonsu ne gina Wembley no na wo ni ne pe
say baby hwe
Nana Bonsu ode hye ba na we mu hwe no anwane ho
no wa na go
Thomas Wahineba. Wahineba Thomas.
No say
or London.
Or London.
On a year a media consultant to incoming chairperson of the MPP UK and Yusu.
Oh, okay.
Into Hiniba and wait me Ashe. Ade Nanabunsu Aquacudru London. No. Hey, asem de bi wo ho.
E na bonso ye chiana pa o ma de atese wakon.
No ko fufu no so benya bi edi.
Ko ye nso no abekire se ye showcase no.
O se officially.
We ye ka we ye ka.
Nanatio na majari kasa.
Wa ko dru London na I was here showcase na manfo ho ya showcase ama manfo so.
I would say ampa wa ko London.
Ye ka no wabode ato ho no.
Nanatie. Wa hine ba muntio. Ati ana.
E de ka no abato no.
Ka eno wabode ato ho no no.
Prepare say obaba bitua.
Anti chese e asem hia papa. Hey, nebuns. E de e asem.
Yeah.
Yankin messages kakra. Afi yemra mehwe school computer placement no. Ati chese nebuns na was ro London ho no. Was papa was imina mini. Was senior Odelaye of Crowo and Honorable Clifford Marty Corley of Teshin Ford School are the best material that can win MP seat for MPP. Abelunwa, lawyer Abele. I say, offer. I agree with the person. Don't read messages like those. Abdul Rahman, young corner. I say. And so yeah, the abusa dada. Enoch is a man kese. And I will say Ghanaians should stop blaming the NDC on the E-levy and blame the MPP government who introduced it into law. The hypocrisy is too much. And Enoch is a man kese and so or they buy. I say, is it true that Britain is suffering from worst standard of living for the past 30 years? Please ask Mr. Mensah. This was said by the Ghanaian president during his interview with Itokoe of BBC, Nanapia, Tama Community 3. It has one UK, since 1956, concourse, and which will be muda. I say, look, the interviewer was just jealous at the way Ghana is soaring higher and higher than Nigeria in terms of economy, sport, and almost every other thing. Don't forget he's a frustrated Nigerian. And also a day a buy. Or say Nanado. Thanks to the BBC journalists, and I think some of the Ghanaian journalists especially and his colleagues will learn from him and stop depending on the estimate because good name is better than riches. Mashaka Santi of Abusukai and Okeka BC. So a day Abba. Jerry.
Yeah, over.
Computer placement. At least this time a single track. Double track be anyhow. That's awesome. Now face is here how baby and I home.
But what I a few way there no Casano in Shadan and you be so much. I say comparatively
Casano on and you be brave.
Casan there and the amount for challenges almost feminine. Na ya answer that you bebre but there bank one woman say aya yan awofo no aye ma no wo mu choose schools no yan involve ye ho ofana de an me hu ni say woman na say awofo no ye involve ye ho a later na so no ba resource ne ba na me ba no kra wan fa we na wan fa we have to be involved and this say ye janus because akwada no kra no ye nyina nim so mo ye minor say GHS for no the kakra na be on 18 years and above. So we have to be involved. Said you say a kobasa got an resource in the ban. One say school when I'm a fire. Then kobasa be a school I will find after about some mempe, na me pe we, ebi a mempe, na me pe we banisana and so on. Yame Jumana Yaden kakra. It's we have to be involved in the selection processes and na ama akoye. But in no comparatively no, I feel we no. Me kwakwaye say yan shada amount for challenges ba ku mienu no money dey account but I'm say anye so much and I metete say ye Ghana your friend say council education council Ghana National Council for Private School na wɔn eka bibi ɛde afa ho a wɔn ka sɛ ɛsɛ wɔn hwɛ ɛsɛ wɔn betumi a investigate ɛyɛ a processes a wɔn de market ɛyɛ GH ɛno no minim sɛ bi wɔn evidence bi nso ɛyɛ kwasi jetua ne nkrɔfo nanso wɔn wɔ evidence na wɔn betumi de aba on board so that we can investigate it na yɛ ho sɛ deɛ tie nti so far I'm the few
na obi say the fact of say a single track no what do you make of it?
Oh yeah, single track na dey yeah say one mama ya tia say year group no enya dey we benya double track in a year group. So for instance one my echo free enya dey ye bechi omumu say we ko na fufuro so aba be ko say double track na sa explanation
so in effect no double track
in effect no dey say say we num nyina one be ko year group no mun nyina be ko on one stream na just say no no so atimi abo meaning say ebia say ne yetimi expand schools ni bi mo enom ne ade wa ba hwe ye mpata mu awu say o ma sisi adan bi o adwoso oko adwosoman
there's a facilities expansion
yeah wa ma ye bi other schools secondary schools ni bi ana senior high schools ni bi ho amakwa
double track na
ni betimi accommodate double track na dey say na ye yifiri wa na e better because na my calendar kwa nwura do it ye yifiri wa na aye better na ehun say wo mo kwa a year group no mo kwa on one stream na ama bibia etimi aye kama don't say this here
okay nti you should say you bit me a be phone line kakra on this specific issue so say no say computer placement no it is saying and but the suggestion say just at the secondary level per any computer na place na primary lower primary quotation ni ade computer bi anya ho bibia na ye den na secondary momuna ye ni abre se computer nya
in place
ye mi phone line kakra egwevri ye mi phone line kakra na let's listen to the generally no
parents
no
so far be assign it ma omo
so okay
madam parent involvement and ade ehun hia me
and komodidie na ye didie say ene nkoda no a woni ko say enra na no dwada ene ye say ye bie no mko school bi so na processes no nyansi and na director general education service can say ye ntwentwen so say oko school are fine but obi ntimi nwie de wo ye next after Easter oba ma headmaster bi aso so ha no 0302 243540 0302 243540 0302 257902 0302 257902 Yintie de also de beba. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What you for saying?
Senior General.
Nyame adom teshi for so what saying?
Hey, maybe I will say it. So all my plus one to be on transporting and make you see. Huh? What I say be about it for country in Senior General. This pound of the brand the child.
Mate.
Nyame sira mate.
Ami. Oh, quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. With me a prayer 0302 257902 0302 257902. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, ADAKABRI.
What your friend saying?
Oh, yes, baby. ADAKABRI.
You ADAKABRI free for that.
Salam.
Okay. Me and you, ye.
You, me know, me how you say, promise for, yes, as for no. Yes, will do. See, someone yet. Yeah. Now,
I'm sorry, line in your stable. We're there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, senior journalist.
Okay, me too.
Plus one to my number. Mami Chow, no, I see on your minister. na we ye story bi a media ma so wa hu Kofi Annan peace obi ewu ho
da
obi ewu da ho 3 days ni ma now so ta wo mo mefa em se nipa ne ye bodani o Kofi Annan peacekeeping the opposite who are right from the hospital no hospital wall no da ho 3 good days in it.
Na teshi police force say ntia o mama ne da ho da ho.
Answer no da ho since Friday no. Kini ma obi ko bisa a soldier for no mo gas duty e wo Kofi Annan ho na no mo so mo after police ya. Now according to police no Saturday Friday no nipa no mu ye according to police no police force a dis nipa no wu ansana o ma be fa no. Nipa no wu am say Monday ni mrem ko hwe na wawu ono ko hwe na oda ho anopa we mi se adwuma ba me paasi ho na ho mi ko gina ho ehwe no a oh one gu ni ho nyina
okay anya chese nipa wu da monten so e won kran ha ya be hwe why
e won kran ha ya 3 days
right majari so won asem da ho say chese nipa wu da kran monten so you can't buy attention. I'm said a hospital no right was opposite Kofi Annan International. So na say your friend a for police for bias when young we jan hokoe.
Young we
it jan hokoe. Who about the fano. And a hospital so crass so one in chair one more. Who yes soon and answer me fano. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon, Pacha for saying.
Pacho Abdurrahman in Lakeside State.
Abdurrahman, now here, dear.
Of Fanyako Pardon.
Mean to
as I say, a need be a dinner, maybe you. That be some most unknown to me, Cassanti, Mubiara Biara. And the message is all kind of an young cry taking me a Kumaya.
Oh.
And yes, I said, Boom Rasa and Mabuna say, the Sabinka or yet no way and war for own to be Casa when you are.
Yes, Adramas, Ibuna de Bumiana, enough. Why? It, yeah, woman, Paco currency, so can I some crana, and the opposite can work heavy. I can can't Abraham, me do I say, what, Anna? Good afternoon. Hey, President.
Oh,
now, money, you're dear money, you're
Abdulrahman Mohammed, your mind no sana. I mean, Adakabri manage style now. What they way, you know. Tell me about which ma obi di ma tem. Me yes, me are going to na to go to your kakara. We will fit. So, any part. Who can be one them? To be so can one them say. Me pe what time? Who be just the radio station? If you crowd here. You could should be water. Yeah, can I say, yeah, Papa, water me? None of your power, you be a catastrophe. We work out water, but I have to make a vision and what can't remember.
One first station, we sell by contributors in the Adam Fra.
What can't it? The flag, what can't it? Show because we'll be here, and the Waka. And only be a money room. Also because we will be our baker. Mamudu, Naka Galam say, Namaminka, a school placement, you want them. And they say, a yamita, ya or mine young canoe creating. We are watching the job at canoe cry, why damage me for, your throat to me for, now you could be now, cannot see. And one till that my corporate beer canoe club, who goes to the back canoe crack. That it is a return Ghana. I think in a Mahmoud, the Sine. One more Balabala for a GTC castle, Mahmoud. But I tell me, say, why now go catch them over to one or more bay? Never will be after you go here, the night of the one. Son, the actual over. If you pass a deep on me, yeah, you panic, I can go for you. And pass there, one crack a best. People go up by the mass. It's me, man. And we are here, one no. And we are getting a bit on the now. So, what you want to do? That there, Cosmo, not in Mahmoud. we are 200 na biya you be 1,000 be 5,000 be 2,000 I can't be report yesterday me met so the number be to come it's here what from me
oh quite unfortunate could be President Fache 0302243540 0302243540. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Alcabella Bundle.
Aye. Kuntu?
Maybe ADAKABRI.
13th May. And I quit our able.
ADAKABRI, Babu. And the side I did the crop of Beggar way too.
Minty way.
For the document, name is a go there and up a shaman for selling cars. I did a bit of ADAKABRI. ADAKABRI. Me Bianca, and Christian Amazabamo, ADAKABRI. Who can bet in your board to what time was so hoping that my master would be ADAKABRI. You took it to call Bano, and what some kind. ADAKABRI. Mumbo, would you want to cry? There, quite shed in you be obey ADAKABRI. I will bring them away. ADAKABRI. Then I get to young and for you in some papa who can, you more woman. Into you only left and right. Not ADAKABRI. Then me my cousin na bala question zemo nkwancha me de mama na no kobra mafo na magel mu sta mu so promotion na mu make na mu bo manga na kwa no munka mu mu be to mu matam mu so be tin no wa de bobo wo mu to ko to ko ADAKABRI mama magbe mu kura wo na kobra mafo na wa fa si magel mama magbe mu kura kwa ye jam we ti me be ti ADAKABRI jam we mama abu ba sani yam kura.
Right. Finally, Nanabunsu. I say once a caller, always a caller. He said, "Wa call at me to Mukura could do London. Na ye be phone lines were her. Nanabunsu say, or no so Obekabi. Nana?
Krobia Santico Toko.
Ne Bonsu.
Tatia Santeno. Uma Pemua Pembeba.
Hey!
Pim said, more piano.
Nana Mientio.
Santeno. I think they would nothing did and come more.
Why, yeah, Mientio way.
Yo, I don't know. It's here. We know them at your board when I do. Ghana for chief, Ghana for ally. The chief will be the one about so the same party. And I want you to know that you can tell me, especially for him. How man, I mean, we come to the movie. What is that?
Sir,
more than you.
Nana, who drew hit airport, you know? No, you're my immigration officer or no country.
Yeah, my immigration officer now, what you want to say?
Oh, me and I don't want to say that. What can you see as this one or to go so?
What can you say this one? I'm listening to the over the course of Galu.
Let us say, where do you know? Buenim and I just say, yeah, true as I do a banner. Nana Guadim was here, dear, we got just say, oh, why are dear Yamish now? And na Ugo Drabruch for Fra, when it in Tema Wunu baby, into ye Jimmy for a cravate. Oh, quite unfortunate. Electricity, no. I'm a line, no. I cut it at the Amai. System, no. I'm all by what to say.
Over, Majoso.
Now, what's tonight?
Oh, Mukum, come here.
Nafi,
you should not work a cranty, Ama. Kuma,
Nana, I can't say, oh, my free bone too. na okwa ne se ukanti ya no so de ya befre no
ente no ama
unexplained reasons bi kakra bi ama unforeseen contingency wakokam e wo baby
so adwuma na ye dia ma before nti etoda o menya nsemi de yom ho no mpe bi afa nti ni na aka ho bi
atiye national issue Mubarak Ras and our petition, right honorable speaker of parliament ASK Babin na o petition no nyina koko wie se ono so boss a asawase ese asebu notice so no so be challenges speaker so no akoso Mubarak asebu no there was anka fellow MPs and anka edisa adwuma no the spectacle of NDC member now the speaker of parliament in Obukan say a shouting bout with Ninia NDC member also minority chief whip who is saying
for me hana minchia kuro no yeduma awie minchia atifo so minchia me party mpenimfo nyina no kwasim ni sase me nya daje eni yechiri the and issues so are
yeah they are two in him
it is unfolding. Therefore, I will just make a just comment about it.
Obidia dianka beka.
Oh, yeah, obidia can make up per se, but I think I need to get my time, follow the issues, be fully abreast with the facts before I can speak thoroughly to it. So I may not end up misinforming or misleading our listeners, because I know say betrahani ekasa yankasa inu no ne offer for few so mutie no mo age edition be free and it is very good that or it's very fair that for the sake of women we do the discussions or we inform them appropriately as the issues are. Now me wo mrashe bedwe fie enra ndo na last time parliament etnasina omakwa humejim e wo afimu de dikan na sa issues no eba na obekai say eba no parliament members of parliament absenteeism na enye sabri nko akoswa in the past, but I dare say this will be the first time one petition be abasa unless it is otherwise proven, but I think that this might be the first time. I refer the issue to the speaker. I think according to Article 97 of the Constitution, the member of Parliament absent in a home out of 15 sittings without notice to the speaker. It is since said that MP have vacated his seat and the speaker will have to declare that seat vacant after it has gone through the necessary internal processes. For instance, a very fair issue to the privileges committee. Now, you find that particular member of parliament or members of parliament culpable, then the matter will refer to the plenary, and the plenary will take a decision on this. It's a very cumbersome process, and that issue, better speaker, I could remember, say speaker can say, this is a petition to the speaker and not a petition to parliament. And I am here to fully educate myself on issues relating to petitions to parliament. Say this petition, the common parliament, what is the weight that said petition carries? And your petition, the speaker, as the head of the one arm of government, also the third gentleman of the land, your petition in relations to administration of parliament, what is the processes involved? What are the legal ramifications of those petitions? And what processes could that administration, could that petition being capable to invoke? And finally, what can be the outcome and how that outcome can either be implemented or otherwise. So, like I said earlier, it is an unfolding event, and we will wait curiously and follow. I recall a brother speaker, Emma, the address to the House in Honorable Muntaka also raised issues referring to the standing orders and referring to the Constitution. And I think that there was a back and forth, but finally, 3 gentlemen or 3 honorable members named were mentioned. Honorable Ajua Safua of Domin Kwabeya, Honorable Henry Kwoti, or was it Ablikumasan, Okakwis, Norfolk, and Honorable Kennedy Japan of Ascent Central. These 3 MPs' names were mentioned. Speaker, accordingly, were referred to Ama Privileges Committee. The Speaker is the head of the House and the leader, the leader of that arm of government. He has the authority to refer issues which he deemed legally supposed to be dealt with according to the laid down rules and regulations. However, a member of parliament also feels ebia enioma binanka ohun kwan se ke bus speaker hode nanso kwan ya afa abano ebia ne ko se fa kwan benkum so de afa nifa so do na be PS speaker nim sanse yan fa benkum so na mra na chese fa benkum so nti me gina so na ma challenge speaker decision. Fine, I think that it is within the right of the honorable minority whip in parliament, Honorable Muntaka, to raise those issues. So I will wait at the moment because I wouldn't like to make comment about preempt the outcome of the processes that is about to begin. And when the issues are fully exhausted, I think we can put the bits and pieces together, examine them against the laws of Ghana, and know whether or not justice has been served. Yeah.
Going forward, education, single track, double track, Kasatentino, and it appears double track A free home. What do you know what I'm saying?
Over. The bano, your woman shimwa, and your pee. I was a ye. Now, Omampeni akufa de betna kunwa so yin bibie ni ho wabɔ modern wom ade bie ni ho wa hya ase a watimi aye na wie pɛyɛ obetimi de wonsa asi obu akasa mampeni kwaku ado abuakwa achiba abuakwa de hye ede abenwa kase ma wo se Ghana mampeni no ade wei na wode wonsa so mu a waye ni waye ma na wie pɛyɛ ni sentini ma mo apiafo. Service how obi mfre ha don boba kuni na mintie bai wo so obekon tie galam sei akosi san ewi akire no ebeye party business a omo pam Ghana fo esi nchen na busuafo bi bedi anim ne agema party ne yetu ne eche sika se de be omo nkwado mbedidi ma Ghana fo sabi omo de no akopem ban galam sei abeye basa Rosewood, yet the enson to Rosewood so yentwa okruma komi kruma tifi do ko he na Rosewood no twa na yetwa nyeka say no for we need to plant trees because that place is gradually becoming a desert and nua kakra wo hompo no the rainfall pattern ho no tifi wo etisay na nua kakra aka na yebetwa twani na afri wo. There is a very good reason economically and even with respect to the environmental protection there, they ban to roads who say go and see what they are doing enough. How to change or promise a link say oba bemwa petrol boy better so and the petrol boy is saying Ghana for bre obey to also on the 7th of January 2017 Ujina Flagstaff or the Black Star Square ekai obey petrol tour every Ghana for nyuma so Ghana busuafo ho be ha ho ni na akosi sai enti eboshe bie ho mampene kufa do ahya watimi aye na asem bia nso ni ho so waka watimi aye na mo bia nso ni ho so watu atimi wie peye free SHS de bia mo koso di ntro mo di ntro so e be expose mo da because asɛm no sɛ baby ɛda hyɛno de wamfa ade na nhyɛ baby ɛhyɛ bɛfiri atɔ no kora no so ɛbɛma Ghanafoɔ so ahu because yɛnka no kora ankyɛ timamufoɔ no matimamufoɔ no ahu ɛnneɔma no sɛdeɛ ɛtie ne sɛdeɛ ɛfa no no nyinaa obi ɛka no asɛm a wɔfa yɛbɛdada yɛ ho ɛno nti na nnɛ Ghanafoɔ gyidi awerɛhyɛ mu ɛne ahotoso a munya wɔ mampani Akufo-Addo mu ɔban bi na ɔbɛtena konwa so a for the first time yɛma 169 MPs out of 275 aban bɛ no wɔyɛ ansada. No government have gotten that. Ghanaians gave him that comfortable majority no with a secured knowledge and full expectations obo a wahyɛ de wonsam a waka no ɛde nti yɛmpɛ so bɛtena konwa so a mmarahyɛ badwafoɔ bɛtwetwe honam yɛsantini yɛde saa numbers wey de maw sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a adwuma pa wɔ so ɔbɛbɛyɛ no yɛmmehwɛ ɛde ba no ɔde the 7th parliament no de yɛ rubber stamp to approve loans and secure nuisance loans and the abaya albatross hanging on the nation on the country's neck. And then your debt to GDP and almost 100% ratio. So these are some of the things. Towards 2012 elections, our free SHS be one of the major issues. NDC position was that you can't woman share and you woman share kwa. Yet nipa. Said the buyer obetime nimdia obetime dia born no ane ho bra no abu abusua na bia ka oman no de sa nimdia no ade aboa na kire oman no and see ye ko school ni atete nkwala we should look at one access kwaya befa obia betime ye bi obia wi school a obetime school no bi akọ na access na onya wi no we should look at quality teacher for be kira de baby nkwala na betena baby on beda aduane won bedi environment on be sure de na ade no ewo mu no we should consider all those things and the facilities are being available. This was the position of NDC and we propose we are going to build 200 schools, community schools within the first 4 years, meaning from 2012 to 2016 you be see 200 schools. Yes, it's a community day schools ni we are then progressively send article 25 plus 1b ekayeno yebeyeno according to the wisdom of the framers of the constitution of Mokayeno. Therefore, we are going to do it gradually. Indeed, the first middle school was Ukunfie Tuam, in high school. I told you school to late President Mills. President Mahama ABSL school in 2015-16 academic year. The progressive senior high school, no, he rolled it out. I'm Akufo-Addo call London. Yebusa no ho asem so send this year who say free SHS no ye na be ye no wa hyase a ne papa mu a UNDP also ebo President Mahama Basso so wa hyase ade na say because we were doing it being very mindful say as a man into me for kente you go show you na engu kente bakum ne ne wa pi so eji asaba mu ne o se echiche ye japade ye won kakra no anamo bia ne ntu kakra so de be ya betimi de mmoa ene ho hare de ba obi a and until you say, 200 days in high schools. Very well. We couldn't build that 200 senior high schools as we promised, but a whopping or significant improvement was made, or effort was made. For instance, by the time we flat BEM in 2016, 17 January 7th, now 123, 76 also were completed. 46 were finished and we handed over to the government. I think Mampong Akuyapema Bakusi or Inwi. Ya Wieswa Yimiano. Picture big video cramp be a banana on Facebook. A dance groom dance Kwabanakwa. Yama Muskuni Biakaho. This place Talency 2016 elections. Piece of family or a desperate media aroma. Mama mekoya semen call report so abanu wo ho emfa mamo. I went to do that and I saw that school esi wo yenya ho hwe said abanu ja President Mahama abanu ja no ho na sa na tie and we have countless of those schools no spread across the country. Aban way contrary to the promises of Oba obey free SHS. He did not tell Ghana for say Mampene Akufo-Addo anka MPP asamoyoku so ba no moto position so no wo mo anka so mo ba on be progressive. But Omoba don't be any progressive. Why? Because they started from Form 1. Nobody called Form 2 the following year. And they called Form 3 the following year. Why? Because they needed vote. And they must promise to get the vote. They had their vote, they came to power, and they changed their stance. This is politics without principle. Now, who said numbers don't start to echo through facilities no anyhow a bit me absorbing kwalano. What happened? Converted dining halls into classrooms. Converted even dormitories into classrooms. Now, for better young kwalano better, I for them better. The numbers have increased. There is no place to accommodate the student. If that is the case, there quickly, you devise we are from a double track system. I know about Kunga education at the second cycle level. The government no focus in acquire second cycle. And into a whole and the target when we say, may I vote for free. I wasn't surprised when Honorable Kenoforiata, after 1 or 2 town hall meetings or about E11, because of the way senior high school graduate I reject E11 in any case, who told him say senior high school graduate the property? Who told them? So you see their level of thinking. He said, you see, the thing that when you be Papa Bia Magana for, therefore Ghana should reciprocate by awarding them what they need. When the catch that's how it works in politics. And who even told them that they have a right to determine that Ghana should reciprocate to their actions? Who told them that? So double track system, it did not come to bring any good, it came to destroy. And when I was in school, Nancy, a lecturer from KNUST, came and complained. Say, and Kualana or Moba Secondary School, Moba University, some are coming with A in mass. But Okachense, uncalculated percentage on to me. Why is it so? It is so because conveyor belt, yen pions are your engogum, near pure mahugum, and yen hon kwao. Let's look at the junior high school. Computer selections placement system. Amampine Kufado, Ebetu, in fact, for President Kufuor type, no introduce here, Mrs. Mahama Betuaso. But we didn't get the problems and the face. Why? Because competent people were handling the system. And I dare say, Omokofa President Kufuor time, Omo this system at the bar, the system was introduced with modalities. And that modalities, it requires competent people to feed it because computer garbage in, garbage out. You have to follow the process and then do the right thing so that challenges are back in everywhere. NDC time, as how do you call it? Ghana Education Service Department handle those placement systems. IT guy, you need IT expert to be able to do that. They were trained. MPP are buying by them. You in everywhere. No matter what party approaches are better now. At the end of the day, the receiving end, your parents who will suffer. You will kruma and about 10 years have to travel all the way from my village, pick it up to or the saying Bulpilis, Bashon, and other places in the northern part of Ghana, somewhere in Upper East, and come to Accra. Why? Because we hear computer placement of school for the award. What happened at Accra International? I would say Black Star Square. Ensure the parents, the student, Benumpo na edi. People we are born I think the government should have learned a lessons out of that. But do they care? They don't care. They are in for power. They are in for power to make money, to make wealth. That bourgeoisie elitist idea of thinking, or no ordinary man, he doesn't own that.
Ebanisena, as a year move away from double track to single tracking.
I think they have seen that at the end of the day, there is a wisdom in what NDC have said all these years. Because you can't say double track on M1. Can double track in M1 over. One more can say the best approach of Modiaba. So why are they running away from it? They should tell us why they are running away from it. That means at the end of the oh yeah, oh the banner yeah, unyai over to us. So over to us until a year. Fine. Now say oh the beba. No what trasu a bribia. At the very beginning, I then also there the Cronenberg in the first place because and yet. But the government have to bring it because of a hunchina cover by Indra. That floodgate will open here in the second cycle level. Well, free SHS will be a messing Kobe. Will be a messing Kobe. The challenge is a cover by and and it don't cover that double track system no buy. But what for him? This double track system have caused more harm than good. One, it led to an ineffective contact hours of students with their teachers. Ebion, it caused a lot of dropouts. Inconvenience if you want to cover by and say, akwala or let's say Upper West, near man school in the central region. Akwala could do or say or your border. And almost a placement system near the mouse school at the Bamao, to me, so went to me and causes war, and I know you enjoy free teachers. That means also my make high dying. No ton wakadia the bound. Wakotana a feed wako school. Now a brand tenasa babawa 13, 14. The maximum quality should be 15 years. At Form 1, my junior brothers come to school and say they are just 14 years. Now some kolanket and get to yanko high dying. A man caught in a mono school. Looking at distance from maybe northern region to Volta region, or Volta region to northern region, Greater Accra to a certain region, etc. How many times in a parent bit me ya daje atu kwan afrin kan ha na si afri atifudo mantem abesinya kofra mantem se okohwe ne ba. How many times can you do that? How many times can you do that? A lot of students have had their school or their academic career have to be cut off because of this needless and avoidable problem and inconvenience about created here as a result of badly thought through implementation of the policy. These were some of the challenges. President Mahama proposed, look, the free SHS need to get a second look. We must meet all stakeholders, evaluate the program, and review it. How? What the policy about? The implementers, the senior high school, the headmasters and the staff, teachers and non-teaching staff, they are the implementers. There's one number implementing policy there. Well, first of all, you need to reason with them. They are on the grounds. What are the challenges I'm facing? And how can those challenges be dealt with? Both the short term, the medium term, and the long term. As we speak, at your discretion, Obi Kodana Juno Yania, double track Yanko. Osanso Koda, Nanu Sunye Edadana, about say double track a few. We can't do this thing to our education and think that we are going to make a positive impact in our society. And I have said this before, and I'll repeat it again. People are looking at the political and economic cost of President Akufo-Addo government. Personally, my concern is the social cost. And the social cost arises out of the miseducation of our youth. Over the last 5 years, I ever call the next 8 years, 3 years anymore. Ordinary mambo be kona wiye. To mampeni Akufo-Addo MPP for enfra bem the next 8 years no. Na hama wo mo koso mine. It will take thousands of years to tally. Because they have done a lot of bad things in this country. They have destroyed everything they came to meet. From President Rawlings time no kofa get fan ebaye. You will Akufo beto so or the adwuma ja hokoi. You will mess me papa Bahama beto so we na adwuma ja hokoi. Ebeto mampeni Akufo-Addo person ko dia or the akosia o wa agi 2.5 billion free China obedi no numu okroma. And na get fan je de kotuaka. E o man sama na ye. Enti ye wawa say contractors say adwuma ma buy on get fan buy ntimi ntu omoka. Yentimi si school dan, yentimi si classroom, yentimi si dormitories, yentimi si any other facility in the second cycle where ebetimi abo education that we are all aspiring to have. No wonder, I think 2018 or so, World Bank Human Development Index had a report by say the quality of the Ghanaian human capital is depreciating. We are going to have educated illiterate on our street. And I fear, you know why? To miseducate a person is very dangerous. Look, when we are half educated, that's why go school and go school. They're the most dangerous people you can ever think of. Yes, they are treating say. You see, there is a quote. I don't think I can get it rightly. In the front of a South African university, inscription or honor say. So if you want to destroy a nation, you don't need an atomic bomb. Just miseducate the citizens. Doctors will die in the hands of those patients. Patients will die in the hands of those doctors. Buildings will collapse in the hands of those engineers. And then the writings goes on. Imagine so be or say what science. Not properly trained as a doctor. No maneuver to the system. What about out? Look, Meno Bikasai had a conversation with a certain guy. Ni yire e yare or didn't call hospital. Okodu or doctor ko hunu wadi oye. Or examine patient now. Just oko Google no compare answers. So we are not producing Google lawyers. We are not producing Google nurses. We will produce Google accountants, Google engineers, Google architects. They will build Google houses for us in this country.
Enti say
nipani ya training
obi a professional and say so boni to mo ya ade. Enti say if or checking for further information, nwanwa ne say.
Wawa pa. Because that further information will be checking. You ought to have done that previously. In your also obey a dinner or in examination doesn't allow. So your student no go exams offer ADAKABRI. Discipline and strict as you are. And as a lecturer, as a lecturer.
Say, oh yeah, America doctor na medical officer obi aba consulting room no ti wani mo no ka che so ya na nitie ne ya ese o sinitras so anese de nani so ayi tum na ese na o ti wani mo no key in to an electronic device say who busa say oba wani mo no osisi na electronic device ne ma possible areas also wo hwa ade a obe free say onya ade ana.
Boy, I am not making a general statement in relation to this, but I am looking at the kind of processor you're creating within a certain period. And in my opinion, why I think what we have done in the past is a recipe for danger ahead of us. That's my concern. And the lecturer from KNUST have expressed that similar fear. And I have that fear too. Everybody saying no be a team in high school. When you aggregate A in mathematics, be it core or elective mathematics, now Okodu University calculate a simple percentage. Then you parent me here. You will be surprised. And he will not as a lecturer no. This is a deal on who waba bekana bonte. And you be able to free insurance be cancer or then chema. Me na me coordinate
in the final analysis. I didn't have a catch as a yenye.
Over. See, a dime, ye senior and senior year. It will be bugu. You see for from. Na sabi onipa. Entity or say the man no. 1 year ye na obeye. I don't want to use a certain repetitive word, but entity also 1 year no. 1 year entity any year. What do we do to him? There is absolutely nothing we can do. I think that those products in the air bunny now need to be given a further retraining. And that will also be an additional cost to the state. That is the harm the regime have caused.
Right.
Now, what can we say? What can we do? All will come down to the legacies that President Akufo-Addo will leave as a leader. And indeed, it's a bad legacy that posterity will never forgive him for the harm he has caused.
Right. Haruna Kingsley Amaliba of the NDC stock. ɛna wote na no kasa so de aba wie abre we say ye frame ADAKABRI Mamudu Osuoma ayi ko joda me ado na dim si abontre me ofa se magere boni chidom sa so ɛna aye na ku afrie so etato na ene ye be hwe se Ghana mampanyini okoi ema BBC journalist eye ni interview emunsam na ye hwe ye se kwani ofa so yiyi ne nsama no afi nso ye hwe se nipa miensa ana speaker of parliament a reform to privileges committee eno nso so no Ras Mubarak ana ono nso so odi petition come speaker ni didi hu nkoma afi so computer placement ni awofo so di omkomu no ebobo so bi ansa ana Haruna Kingsley Amaleba obeka yensa no nso so man opportunity na otimi kyerensemu yedemu nyina amase na ahoboa se Olakwaku Michael obeba na wade abesina kofie na da nyina so wade ebekọ jojojojojojo igusuneti neat 100.9 FM
Needs FM.
Hey, catch it. Listen in here. And you ma beto to dia me baba no hwade no. Hwem so betumi a. Hey, now beka. Ya jon to ma me ensa duku portmanteau. This way chocolate drink. Na kan wo hwe afi bia so beri ni aware